So what kind of
Yeah.
student were you in college? I mean, you mentioned earlier that you were I guess the academic decathlon equivalent of biology in high school. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that you were a phenomenal student in high school. Now, did that carry for you into college?
Well, I didn't change.
Yeah,
I knew how to study hard,
yeah,
but when you raise the bar, which I did, I went to a school where the bar was raised. I was no longer in the top 5 or 10%. It's just what it was. So I took the challenge of going to a challenging school and it not being easy and never failed a course. I got a D once in my senior year, but let's just chalk that up to senioritis. But,
yeah.
getting a good C or a B was I had to work for those. They were really, really, really smart people. Now, when I loved the area, like physiology, some of the biology work, some of the basic sciences, I got my A's in. But I'll tell you, sometimes that first semester physics, even though I took physics in high school, yeah, you get your C. And gosh darn it, I worked really, really, really hard for it. At the end of the day, I'll tell you, nobody really cares about that A or that C, or I won't even tell you again that I got a D in my senior year in a particular course. Is because what you do with that information and that knowledge. And I just had a solid foundation in solving problems in engineering. And again, the times they were in demand for a lot of engineers. Colleges or companies would come to our college and heavily recruit. And I got a lot of job offers, regardless of the B, the C, or the A.
Mm. Makes sense. And, and I think that that's still the case. For GPA is not the most important thing. Definitely, especially after you've gotten your first job. I know most of my colleagues, I mean, we don't include GPAs on resumes at a certain point. So yeah, I think that it is different when you go to college and go to engineering school. The bar is definitely raised. A lot of people
Mhm.
are shocked by that. A lot of people struggle with that, but I think it's a very consistent message that I'm hearing in these interviews that it is harder, but it's not the end of the world just because you're no longer making A's all the time. I think there's three three students that graduated in my engineering class that managed to maintain an A average all the way through engineering school, and I don't know how they did it. That it wasn't me. I was definitely not that person. So
I
you
mean, but it's
mentioned,
it's what
yeah,
you do with it.
yeah.
Again, that is one benchmark is it's all about getting the A, and I applaud those people that have gotten that, but it's what did you do with that? How did you get that A or that B or that C? And I'll tell you, engineering helps you to be a problem solver. It also helps you to work in teams because the collective knowledge of multiple people are what's going to help you get that B or maybe get that A. It's no longer an individual sport, engineering. You have to collaborate with other people.
Never losing focus because I ain't chasing payments. Still playing in the basement while I'm working on arrangements. They heard the kid in 50 countries, thank God that's amazing. But I'd rather thank Spotify, they put me on the station.